Osborne. Rolling to the line, second today in points aboard the 715, a 10-time GNCC champion from Shamokin, Pennsylvania, the GBC Motorsports by Racing Yamaha, Tracy Pickens. Third in points, a former and three-time ATV motocross, that's right, champion, now turned GNCC pro. She hails out of Marion, Ohio, on the SBR LSR4 Honda, Megan Shepard. Rolling to the line, fourth today in points. She rides aboard the number 411, a former champion of this series. From Muncie, Pennsylvania, on the EO Cycle Barn, Maxxis Fly Racing Back Suzuki, Alicia McCormick. Rolling to the line today, fifth in points aboard the 228 from Monterey, Tennessee, on the Yamaha, Jada Phillips. Sixth in points aboard the number 614. She hails from South Salem, Ohio, to Pierce Performance 560 Graphics, Maxxis backed Yamaha, Sadie Gurrell. Seventh in points, riding aboard the number 718 from Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania, on an Elka Yield Cycle Barn, Maxxis backed Honda, Hannah Hunter. And rolling to the line next aboard the number 321. She hails out of Morgantown, Indiana, on a Three Generations Racing Honda, 62-year-old and IXCR former champion, Jill Zink. And the 993 from Maine, North Carolina, on a Turtle Racing's engines, DeRisi Racing Honda, is Cassidy Williams. And now turning our attention to our 4x4 Pro class, who will be taking off first today. And of course, here we roll in accordance to points after the first two rounds of racing. Rolling to the line first aboard the number 2 from Glenville, Pennsylvania, to GBC Motorsports Canyon Fly Racing Can-Am, Landon Wall. The number 602 from Bakersville, North Carolina, on a Can-Am BRP Scrons Power Sports Lucas oil-backed Can-Am, Jordan Phillips. The number 3, he hails from Clayton, Georgia, on a factory Can-Am with those CST tires, tire spines, White Pollard. Rolling to the line fourth aboard the number 4 from Conneautville, Pennsylvania, on a B&R Motorsports Can-Am GBC tires, Can-Am, Robert Smith. Aboard the 327, currently fifth in points from Ashton, Pennsylvania, to DeRisi Racing Can-Am, backed by Tire Spine, Robbie Picarari. The number 5, currently ranked sixth in points from Princeton, West Virginia, on the Can-Am, Tanner Bowles. The number 208 from Salisbury, North Carolina, currently ranked in the 7th place position on the Phoenix Racing Back Machine, Hayden Mickelson. Currently 8th in points, riding aboard the 231 machine from Martinsville, Indiana, on the Spider Graphics DeRisi Racing V-Rubber Back Machine. The 231 of Austin Parks. And last, and certainly not least, my friends, we talk about the 739, and he hails from West Union, West Virginia, on the Can-Am, Troy Gum II, and that is your starting lineup for this 4x4 Pro Class and WXC, our premier classes here in this morning race program as we get set to tackle the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in this FMF Steel Creek GNCC. The crowd's gathering around. Wow, you know, look at this. One time this would have been a big pro crowd, but this is for a 10 o'clock start here this morning, my friends. We've got some 234 riders that are rack-packed, stacked, and ready to rock here on this race course. And of course, starting out first today will be our 4x4 Pro class. We've met the riders, the stage is set, and it's time to tackle these mountains of North Carolina in round 3 of America's premier off-road racing championship in the world-renowned Amsoil GNCC Series presented by Specialized. We are now less than 1 minute away from going GNCC racing as Ricky Towery readies himself in the first turn and has begun the starting sequence here in GNCC racing. The watch watch is being closely looked at, of course, as the blue flag comes out now, and that's the dead engine sign for everyone to shut them down. And as the quiet goes across the starting line here this morning, our attention turns to Ricky Towery now. And of course, all eyes bearing down as Ricky lets us all know it's time to roll in a matter of only 10 seconds for row number 1, the 4x4 Pro here at the FMF Steel Creek GNCC. And away they go. Around that first turn, into the second turn, it's the number 327. That is Robbie Picarori out of Ashland, PA on the DeRisi Racing Can-Am Tire Spine machine, welcoming folks along the World Wide Web at racertv.com as the WXC getting set to roll next. Turning our attention to Ricky Towery. 10 seconds. Kaylin Osborne, you're the lead here in points. See if she's going to be able to make it happen as the green flag flies on this one. The number 1 grabbing that early lead in this one. I believe that's the 10-time women's champ. Talking about Tracy Pickens out of Shamokin, Pennsylvania. Grabbing the early lead. She does not like the sounds of this. The blue flag out. Super Senior 45 plus, Aaron Delancey, Michael Aurelia, and James Wilson in 10 seconds. And the green flag waves in the Super Senior 45 plus class. Oh man, who's going to be the early leader in this one as they go nearly nose to tail and 3 wide through the first turn. 332, Michael Aurelia from High Springs, Florida on the Merrill Lynch Steel Horse Racing Ranch Foxback machine. To the Schoolboy Senior, 10 seconds. Trey Seibert, Luke Wilson, Hayden Hunter, Nate Harvey, Keith Henderson, Lane McCormick, Jan Safety, Tyler Valentine, Colin Markowski, Ryan Mason, Devin Mercer, Colton Butt, James Glad, and Travis Dudley. Five, 7, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2. Lane McCormick from Muncie, Pennsylvania on the old Cycle Barn Maxis and Fly Racing Back machine. 4x4 A-Class, John Rogers, Joseph Scheichel, Matthew Ewert, James Brown, Brian Buchanan, Eric Hollifield, and Zachary Jones in 10 seconds. It is the 720 machine. That is Zachary Jones from North Augusta, South Carolina. B&R Motorsports Fly Racing and FMS sponsored ride. Up next, Masters 50 plus class. Less than 10 to go for Kenny Hawkins, Michael Tarango, Brian Rines, Chad Lane, Travis Beaver, Wayne Edwards, Russell Collier, Lane Coyle, and Jeff Parker off and rolling now. Masters 50 plus class. Oh yes, tightrope walking that machine. That's the 211 of Michael Tarango from Plantation, Florida. 4x4 Senior 40 plus, Christopher Riggin, John Glotta Senior, Brian Keene, and Justin Billy Goat Wood. 10 seconds. And the 4x4 Senior off and rolling now. And there we go. Oh, got off into the wet stop. But he still holds on to the lead to 518. John Glotta Senior from Waxhaw, North Carolina. 4x4B, Kagan Martin, Jacob Carpenter, Brian Russell, Jeff Purcell. Also Michael Callahan, Parker Merrill. 10 seconds. John Wright, Jeremy Buchanan, Doug Moore, and Mike Seegers. Around the first turn, they roll now. Oh my, all by himself. Look at this. That's the 328 machine of Jacob Carpenter. Carpenter out of Howell, Michigan. on a STM Power Sports Maxxis Tires Checo Racing Bag Can-Am. Sportsman AB class. Derek Hart, Ryan Canfield, Cameron Faley, Caleb Hagan, Dylan Klein, Chad Evenshine, Jordan Ellis, Brett Fike. 10 seconds. Brandon Fike, AJ Connors, Justin Cotter, Tommy Thompson, Nathan Dallas, Ethan Fike, Nicholas Carmelli, Caleb Edwards, Michael Lohman, Josh Franklin, Hunter Mellon, Joshua McAvee, Cole Williamson, Justin Collins, Ryan Sherman, Bryce Chipman, Joshua Santiago, Brandon Hess, and Chuck Norris. Whoa! Nasty in that first turn. 380. Brandon Fike out of Frostburg, Maryland on a B&R Motorsports back machine in Cumberland. Cycle sponsored ride. Silver Masters 55 plus class coming up next. Less than 10, Jim Van Lucke, Kenny Rich, John Ellison, Michael Ferguson, Michael Klein, and Dave Stratton. All righty, folks, here we go. What's going to happen here? It is 4, 3, 6. Michael Ferguson from Melbourne, Florida on a Ferguson's Granite and Marble CD Boots back machine. He had the lead around the second, but look at that there. I think he dropped a second there. Sport 15 plus class coming up next. Drew Blackley, Matt Parker, Rodney White, Mike Foodie, Hunter McCall, Justin Turner. 10 seconds. Wayne Shea, Walt Schumacher, and Gary Green. That's a good one. Whoa. 586, I believe that was. Or 585, Wayne Shea from Hubbard, Ohio. Man, they were jockeying there. 30-plus novice coming up next. Xavier Gibbs, Kevin Simon, Stephen Young, Rodney Rector, Drake Craven, James Stephen, Brandon Hosenfield, Eric Tosky, Chad Hosenfield, Scott Milligan, Brian Epley, and Dustin Barger. Got a little tangle up there and out of turn 3, hitting that first wood section now. So as soon as I get that sorted out, Ricky Tower will resume our starting sequence here as he watches. And he says, all right, we're ready to go. Watch it. 10 seconds. Wow, what a crowd here today in Morganton, North Carolina. For those of you folks watching along the World Wide Web at RacerTV.com and on Facebook and live stream, welcome. I'm telling you folks, missing a superb weekend of racing. 374, Rodney Rector out of Conley Springs, North Carolina. Don't let that water hole out of that first turn fool you. This racetrack is in prime condition. I think that's the only mud around here. Going to the 35-plus novice in 10 seconds. Dave Childers, Luke DeCesar, Keith Galloway, Ivo Pahalik, Luke Bender, Justin Pinnell, Keith Rich, Jason Kraft, Rodney Poe, Adam Wells, and Mike Oxford. Oh, it gets greasy out there. That changed everything. 354, Luke DeCesar out of Warren, Ohio gets the gimme. Wow, man, what a heartbreaker for the 442. Kenny Rich out of Warsaw, Ohio had that and got that deep water and mud and went from first to last. 10 seconds. 19-plus novice, Clayton Kawasaki, Luke Matusik, Zach McIntyre, Dante Mascarelli, Brian Stillwagon, Brandon Golden, Zachary DeNoble, Zachary Arrowwood, Ori Chen, and William Below. 618, Ori Chen from Stockport, Ohio, and that was almost worth the price of admission if you ever happened to stand down there in that first turn. Looks like one of our Suzuki mounted pilots. That might be Dante Masciarelli out of Binghamton, New York, with that little issue there off the bat. Let's see. 365. Yep, that's who it was. Oh, Dante. Go get him, Dante. 10 seconds. Women's class, Carly Martin, Christian Power, Marty Lance, Sydney Sands, Jessica Elliott, Michaela Hayes, Nicole Lane, Sydney Kane, Sierra Mays, Tamara Rose, Claire Wilkin, and Paige Berryman. Let's see if the ladies can avoid that big, massive mud hole off to the outside of that first turn. Oh, she skates right across the edge of it. And that first turn coming out of that with a 5:01 of Sydney came from Stockport, Ohio on a quick 60, throttle out back machine. 4x4 lights ATVs are coming up next. 10 seconds. Levi Say, Trevor Payne, and Ronald Barndell, 4x4 lights off and rolling. Much quieter 4x4 machine. Listen to this. The 410 of Levi Say from Salisbury, North Carolina, back by mom, dad, mechanic Zach Stanley taking the early lead. 10 seconds. Schoolboy Jr. with Tyler Kirkner, Gary Hacker, Blake Norman, Dominic Stevens, Garrett Weaver, Cody Clendenning, Jacob Fleming, Michael Yondanis, Chase Cooper, and Ashton Poling as they are now rounding the first turn. Oh, getting out some of that grease. Oh, it changes. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Wow, 4:13. Dominic Stevens from Warren City, PEA will not be denied that early lead. GBC tires, nothing stopping him but his DP brakes. And, of course, he's wearing that Fly racing gear. 10 seconds. Golden Master, 60+, Jeff Hensley, Jimmy Craven, Jake Stratton, and Pat Poe. I think Jake's like 82. He's an XS Motorsports back ride, and that's him right there, the oldest guy in second place on the big 4x4. The 897 of Pat Poe gets the early lead, but my friends, 80+ years old, got off to second. He's like 82 years old. Crazy. 4x4 C class, Keith Fedora, Edward Markowski, less than 10 to go. Jacob Gano, Stephen Higgins, Matthew Gano, Bryce Cooper, Dustin Berg, Jimmy Clark, Stone Webb, Jason Cowan, Josh Williams, Erica Fisher, and Daniel Moore. .289, that's Keith Fedora from Philadelphia, PA. The Philadelphia Eagle taking off today, my friends, out front. 16-18 novice coming up next. Less than 10 to go for Daniel Gidley, Curtis Brazel, Coleman Cook, Justin McKenzie, Marcus Hefner, Stanley Johnson, the man. Also Adam Weckel, Sammy Eisen, Michael Snyder, Cameron Richards, Brylan Williams, and Chase Garland. And up front on this one, it is the 523. That is Michael Snyder from Moscow, Ohio, a 100% racing Rhino-powered dirt nasty back machine. 40+ novice in 10 seconds. Theo Refuse, Anthony Stockdale, Darren Radford, Russell Fry, Anthony Dean, Doug Allball, Tim Davis, Steve Kiggins, Marshall Fowler, Robert Bennett, Mike McTusick, Kevin Presnell, and Chris Fletcher. Uh-oh, did it again. Sucked that early leader right into it, took the lead right away. 4:48, gets pushed out. But that was Doug Allball from Laura, Ohio, with a slight advantage according to his vantage point there, crossing the line first. I think he got bumped back to second, however. All right, next row going is 24+ novice. That's Ethan Houck, Kyle Temple, Lane Mooney, Tyler Sparaciano, Henry Sorgan, Austin Manicucci, also Travis Ison, Blake Gentz, Keth Panico, Tyler Bowman, and Timothy Franklin. Trail Rider 16+ coming up next. We got Eric Baggett, Richie Soulsby, Josh Chandler, Ricky Eller, Craig Aliff, Chad Keller, Brian Kirkner, Jacob Barry, also Jake Shatley, Jake Callahan, Tommy Cook, Timothy Thacker, Nathan Hondrelis, Roy Morgan, and Jacob Stein. Where's Ricky at? I don't see him. There he is, green flags waving. So those guys saw him. That was the important thing because they all took off on cue. See if that mud hole to the outside gets any of these guys. Wow. Oh, look at that, 371, no sleeves. That's the man right there, Chad Keller from Lenore, North Carolina. Chad Keller's got his, well, he thought the suns was going to be out, so he got his guns out. But nonetheless, that's the start. Down here for our 11 o'clock race, folks, on racertv.com. Just want to let you know that we will be back with you with live coverage of this afternoon's racing, of course, from the start about 2 o'clock, like we said, introductions right on through to the very checker flag and final podiums of the day. So be sure and stick around on racertv.com, and we're going to throw things over to our good buddy Mr. Chuck Leemaster and Mr. DJ Judd from out of Snowshoe to bring us the race call in this class coming up. Don't forget, we got pro rider autograph sessions and all that coming up here at 12 noon there on BP Fuels Per Row. It's the Monster Energy pre-race report. Guys,